Let's see, I should have some slides up here. And Honorable Mayor, City Council, and Planning Commission, thank you for allowing me to speak, and especially thank you for having the courage to tackle this most difficult issue that's been kicked down the road for so many years. I'm Mac Ragsdale, longtime resident of Rosedale for some 45 years, and I lived there when Central Market was proposed, and many good people were vehemently opposed as if the world was coming to an end. We see many years later the world did not come to an end, and I think most would agree that the neighborhood is better off because of it. Full disclosure, I'm a retired recovering architect, and so I have seen the dark side. I also happen to believe that we can both increase density and maintain neighborhood character at the same time, and both Austin and the planet will be better off for it. A few years ago, I acquired a lovely 1927 farmhouse on a large lot with heritage trees, with the intention of fixing up the old house and adding some right-sized compatible housing to the lot. I soon got schooled on the difficulties of navigating the code and severe restrictions on doing any kind of development. I decided to wait for the city to come to its senses, and I hope that day is finally coming. I'd like to show you case studies of what limitations would be required under the current code and what would be allowed under the proposed changes. So this plan, existing conditions plan, shows a large 11,000 square foot lot with an 1,150 square foot lovely historic old farmhouse surrounded by heritage trees on SF3 zone lot, which allows duplex. The site's severely limited by heritage trees, which prohibit connecting to the existing house to make it a duplex. The next slide, Scheme 1, under current code, shows how a monstrous, unaffordable 3,300 square, monstrous to some people, unaffordable 3,300 square foot single-family house could be added to the lot. But the existing historic house would have to have 50 square feet removed in order to make it comply as an 1,100 square foot ADU. This not only forces a big, expensive house to be built on the remainder of the large lot, but also forces 50 square feet to be torn off the existing old farmhouse, compromising its historic character. This makes no logical sense, does little to promote affordability, and removing 50 square feet of the old farmhouse to make it an ADU is a non-starter for me. Scheme 2, so next slide, under current code shows how an 1,100 square foot ADU would be added to the remainder of the large lot, but the existing 1,150 square foot historic farmhouse would need to be nearly tripled in size to bring it to the allowable floor area of 3,300 square feet. This forces building a big, expensive house that compromises the historical character of the existing house and only adds one affordable unit plus a monstrous, unaffordable house. This also makes no logical sense and does little to promote affordability. So Scheme 3 is the proposed code revisions, and it shows how the existing historic farmhouse could be minimally expanded to make it more family-friendly size without compromising the historic character. The remainder of the lot could be redeveloped to add a duplex of up to 2,800 square feet or 1,400 square feet per unit, for a total of 3 affordable, family-friendly, missing middle units on the entire lot, all the while preserving existing trees and staying within impervious cover limitations. 3 units is modest, but it's a 50% increase as opposed to just 2 under the current code. It's very compatible and sensible redevelopment that would not be allowed under current code. This is not only not the end of the world, but will allow the planet to breathe a little bit easier. Thank you.